Hello all. Okay, in this video I've just arrived at the Devil's Pulpit, and in this video I'm going to take footage during my visit there. The Devil's Pulpit is in Finnich Glen, which is between Glasgow and Loch Lomond. It's probably about 30 miles north of Glasgow and a bit southeast of Loch Lomond in Scotland, in Scotland. So it may seem obvious for some, but this video can be watched anywhere. So yeah, the Devil's Pulpit in Scotland. So I'll show you in the map where it is. So it's about a 2-hour drive it took me about 2 hours from Dundee. It's about 80 miles, but of course the roads and that, it's quite a scenic route. So, and just arrived here to make a day out of it, basically. Now I've done a video already called The Devil's Pulpit, my short article, which basically I just give you my article about it from the minimum brief research that I've done regarding the Devil's Pulpit. Now, getting parked here is, you've got to be parking responsibly. There isn't really much designated parking spaces here, so it's kind of tricky. But I'm right off the road. I'm not blocking the road in any way, shape or form. My vehicle is completely not obstructing the road in any way, not even the wing mirror. It's literally right off the road. So I don't know about anybody else and how they park, but I know I'm parked right off the carriageway, so I'm not causing any obstruction. The roads are very narrow. It's busy roads as well, as you might hear. So I've done an article already on my channel about the Devil's Pulpit at Finnich Glen. So I've just literally arrived now. I'm going to put my hiking boots on. It's quite a steep descent to it, but apparently I haven't been before, but from what I've read on research, it's quite steep to get to. So I'm going to have my hiking boots. I'm going to take my sandwiches with me as well, and my camera, and get some footage for the video to share with you as well. So it's quite a nice day for once. The weather is actually playing ball for me for a change. You know what I mean. No, the weather, and lucky with the weather. The weather's really good. It's my day off and the weather's nice, so I'm going to make the most of it. Right, let's make tracks. Oh, first of all, I'll show you in the map roughly where it is. I've already shown this in my article video, but I'm going to show you again anyway, just briefly where it is, using Google Maps. So it's called the Devil's Pulpit. It is marked here. I'll show you where it is in Scotland. So I've kind of done this already in my article, but I'll briefly do it again just to show you where it is. So and stop there, and I'm just going to make my way on foot to it, and then when I get there I'll get the footage, photos and videos for you. So let's go and have a look at the Devil's Pulpit in Glen Finnich. Sometimes it's referred to as Finnich Glen or Glen Finnich. I've seen it both ways, so I'm just calling it either or. Glen Finnich is where the burn, that's where the Carnick burn runs through, and it's where the Devil's Pulpit is. So I will also put a link in the description in this video to my other short article video about the Devil's Pulpit in Scotland. I'll try and remember to do that. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see that as well. Right, let's get out and make my way there. Right, so I'm just making my way up to it. I've got to walk a wee bit to get to the pulpit, so I've parked quite a bit away because the other car parked up there, the spaces were all filled. So that's the thing about it, there isn't really, it's a busy place, so I've just got to park responsibly, and I've got to walk a bit to get to it. So I'm just parked down this road here, further down that road. About a 5-minute walk down there and park. So I was quite lucky because I managed to get a space suitable. It wasn't in the car park, but it was a suitable space that enabled me to park completely off the carriageway. So that's the A809. It's just crossing here. That's the A809. As you can tell, that's the B834, which is just saying just about a 5-minute walk down there and parked. Now, it's a bit of information. First time I've ever been here, so. So it's lovely scenery here as well, very nice scenery. So I'm just going to head down here towards it. Quite looking forward to seeing this natural feature. It's first time. It makes a bonus when the weather's good as well, but from what I've seen on research, the actual colour of the water from the Finnich Burn, it changes colour apparently after it's just rained. It's meant to be quite spectacular. Well, it's certainly not raining today, and I don't want it to be raining today. But that's something that I came across during brief research. A couple of things that I'm going to highlight as well while in here. I know what I'm looking at anyway, and just put it on my video as a wee piggyback from my own records. It's a clear day, not a cloud, hardly any clouds in the sky, and suddenly. So I'm just logging this in as well. There's another one. I forget when it was coming out. There's probably more as well, but just noting it in. So I've got my sandwiches in the back. I've got coffee as well. So I'm just basically continuing on down until I see something that I think is the way to go to get to it. So I'm just coming to a sort of area where there's a sheer drop. I mean a sheer drop. I can see the burn down there, Finnich Burn. Now to get to it, I have to get down there. I'm still in the process of finding out. I don't know if we should go down this way. There's probably more than one way in. There is a staircase, an ancient staircase apparently, that leads down to it, but I've no idea where that is. So I'm kind of making it up as I go along. I have no idea how I'll get to it. But once I'm down there, I could probably safely say at the bottom of the natural gorge, the Finnich Glen. I'm going to maybe look about getting down, perhaps going this way, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get much further. I might have to get myself over that fence. It's steep, I'll tell you. This looks like the way down. This looks like a way down. I mean a way down where you can actually survive when you're down there. There's plenty of ways down, alright. You could just fall right off the edge here and you'll get down quick enough. But I don't think you'll be getting them back up again in a hurry. So I'm going to get a way down where I am going to be arriving there in one bit. So I don't think this is the official way down anyway, because there's holes in the fence is sort of, and I'm just kind of like depending on holes in the fence. So there probably will be that staircase that I can't find right now, but this looks like a way down that I'm going to take advantage of right now. I'm not making the hole in the fence any worse, I can assure you of that. I'm just simply going through it to get there. So now that I'm through that, I just simply went through, didn't even touch the fence, the hole was already there. So I didn't know how to get to it, so I just took the opportunity to get here. Now that I'm here, I could safely say I'm at the bottom in one bit, and I'm presuming that's the way. So it is busy, but we get a few selfies and stuff, get a few pictures, but I'm assuming that's the way anyway. It looks as though it's a bit of a challenge by the looks of it, a bit of a stepping stone challenge, but so let's go. A selfie. So I'm gonna go along. Oh, I'm gonna go along there basically. I'll get somewhere along there, get my lunch, get footage, see if I can find the Devil's Pulpit, which is that rock formation. It's like a platform. It protrudes up from the ground. So I've never been to it, but that's what I've found on the research. My understanding of the research, anyway. My understanding of the findings of my research, should I rephrase that. So I've got my hiking boots on anyway. It just means that worse the bottoms of my jeans will get wet. As the weather doesn't rain for a bit, it looks as though that seems to be I don't know which is the better way to go. You know what, I'm going to go this way anyway. I'm going to stay on this side and just see what happens when I get along there a bit further. So I'm going to decide to go over this other side. No, I'm just going by the fact that it hasn't rained for a bit. I don't know if this level's going to go up or down later on. I don't know, but I'm used to doing this kind of stuff from a hill walking. These rocks are slippy and I ain't filming at the same time, so I'm going to have to go over there and just see what happens. That's the advantage when you've got size 12 feet. You could kind of like stand up a wee bit on my tiptoes, and it minimises the amount I get soaked. But there is a limit, and I may have just reached it there. So I've just got myself on the other side of the bank here, and I'm going to go along here. Now maybe I should have done what I've seen others doing, perhaps take my shoes and socks off, but I haven't done that, so I'm just going to go like that. If I get wet, I get wet. It'll dry out eventually. I gave up with that, and just on the other side walking up here, see what I could find. So I'm none the wiser at finding it yet. That's along there, but up here because I see people walking on stepping stones in the water. Don't fancy that. I'll keep that as a last resort. If I can find another easier way, I will use that if I do find another easier way. That was the way I came down there, wasted time. Well, it wasn't really. I did see what I had to see along there anyway. Natural curiosity would have drew me along there nonetheless. So as uphill, now it's a sheer drop down there. So be careful. It's just a bit frustrating when you can't really find an obvious way down. I guess it's through there, and it looks as though it's fairly deep water. So I might not get to it, I just don't know yet. It's still early days yet. At least I'm getting a view of Finnich Glen anyway. So many beautiful surrounding countryside. So as I say, I came down that side, crossed over, now I've come up on this side, walking kind of in a bit of a loop to see if I could get a view of it from this side or away down it. Now there is people down there, stepping stone sort of style, walking over. I don't know if there's other ways to it, I'm not sure yet. But one thing for sure is I do know this is one heck of a drop down there. Extreme caution is needed. I don't know if it's... I'll have a look over there then. That'd be a 200-year-old staircase leading down to it. That'd be handy. Aha! Now I think I've found the staircase. It looks like a challenge. It's in broken. The staircase is in a broken condition. So, and I think I might have found the certainly. Yeah, I think I found the pulpit. Let's see if we can zoom in from here. No, I'm guessing that's it anyway. I'm not sure 100%. But that looks like the main the main deal. That looks like the main area there. That's where all the focus of the attention is. Plus you've got all the mosses and everything. It's on the cliff walls that are worth looking at. and apparently when it rains, the interaction between the water and the mosses and that, and the sandstone, produces some interesting colourful water. Now that gorge is just down there on the left, so it's just a sheer drop. Now this looks like the staircase. Well, that certainly is what's left of it down there, so I need to get myself to it and take extreme care getting down it, because it's steep and it's in a damaged condition. So here's the staircase. It would have been nice, of course, if it wasn't damaged. It's just a simple case of walking down the stairs. That'd be really nice, wouldn't it? But it's not. I could see people struggling or having a challenge getting down there. But what I'm going to do in the interim is I'll give them a head start. So if I fall, I don't follow them basically, and not seen falling. And I'll just edit that out the video as well. Nah, I don't want to. I'm going to have a wee look around here. Got an aerial view from here. So I want to get myself down there so I can get my lunch. I'm getting a bit hungry. I said I'd like to have it down there. So my challenge is to get down there some point today so I can get my dinner. Now I'm being careful. Now these things overhang. You don't know what's under them, so I'm not going any further than this because it could be a false, you know, you might think that's safe to walk on, but it could collapse. So I don't go any further than that, and I keep my own body length away from the edge as well. It's just good practice to do that. And you might see some of the gorge. So I've given them, well, I've left a few minutes, so I'm going to give that staircase a shot. Before I go on the staircase, just something to take note of, to make of, just to showing the scenery on the day. It's what I'm seeing anyway, just seeing what I'm seeing. Right, I'm going to give this staircase a go, see how I get on with it. See if I make it down to the bottom in one bit. So just to put you in the pictures what I'm faced with. We'll get down there. This is the ancient staircase, I presume, anyway. It's got to be in it. It's just an observation made regarding this so-called staircase. There's a tree growing out of it as well. How does that work? How does a tree become to growing out of a staircase? How does that work? Growing out of rock. Why would they put a tree where there's a staircase, and vice versa? Why would they put a staircase where there's a tree, or a so-called staircase? So I'm nearly here. Oh, I've made it down. I've got a wee bit dirtier than I expected. It's quite a narrow bit to go through. No, that wasn't the pulpit, by the way. I just things look a wee bit different when they're up there, so I still haven't made the pulpit yet. So I'll just see where that is. I'll tell you this, it's really spectacular. So I don't know what's around there. It might be around there. As to see that staircase anyway, so-called staircase, or maybe once upon a time it was a staircase. It's just a bit of an obstacle course as far as I'm concerned. It's probably the easiest option. It was just an obstacle course getting down that, I'll tell you that. Slippy, messy and very tricky. I've actually set eyes on it at least. That's it there, where there's someone on it. That's I'm not zooming in obviously because there's somebody there at the moment, so I'll wait till it's clear and then I'll get a closer look at it, but at least I know now where it is. So I'm going to get my dinner there. I'm starving. I'm going to just find somewhere to get my dinner, maybe over there or something, I don't know. There's a bit of a waterfall over there as well, which is quite nice. And then as I say, we've got the pulpit just there as well, so I'll wait for us a moment before I get a few pictures of it. I've not had my dinner yet, but I'll just hold off for now. I'll just come here for the main feature first of all. So I'm actually on the sandstone. It is sandstone rock. Keep an eye on the water level as well, because it'll be obviously, if this varies, it'll become more of a challenge to get over. I had to leap over the two stones there to get onto this side. And I've seen what others have done, just sort of walking along the edges there. I managed to get myself across here now. It was quite slippery. It is a bit of an obstacle course to get there, but I did get over. Now it's worth it in the end. Even if you get a wee bit wet, and not too bad considering I'm sort of like moaning about getting dirty and getting wet, but you might have to expect that. I didn't realise it was going to be such a challenge, but it's worth it. So maybe next time I'll take my old clothes and waterproofs. But it is quite a challenge. And this is the Devil's Pulpit that I'm currently right next to right now. Now I'll wait till it's clear and I'll get a closer picture of it, perhaps a selfie as well. Now that's the springs that were on that, the natural springs that was on that Outlander film, I believe. I haven't watched it, but from the research I've done, I believe that's the springs. So I've actually made this far, and it took some sweat and tears to get here, but I got here. So it's just about getting wet. If you didn't mind getting wet, then go by it. You could even swim it if you really wanted to. It's just if you're trying to keep yourself dry when you've got all your gear on, and you tend to say, oh well, fussy, but never mind. Some pictures and selfies with that as well. So, it's a lovely waterfall. I'll try and get myself a selfie with that in the background. It's not so easy, but it's there, so I'll get that. And I've got the Devil's Pulpit. I think I'm going to get myself to that as well, get a picture. So this is it. This is the Devil's Pulpit. Now I'm going to get a selfie next to it, at least by it anyway. Can't be bothered standing on it, I'll just get a picture next to it. So it's a very popular spot, and I was able to get just a wee moment with that in the background. Now there's a lot of people here, so it's quite tricky to get a clear shot of the waterfalls there. I'm just keeping an eye on the water level because obviously that could raise, but well, I wouldn't be the only one stuck if it did. I think I would just get my feet wet and my bottoms and my trousers wet, but I could live with that. So, but I'll probably have my lunch further back. I'll maybe get my lunch up there or something, yeah, and enjoy this moment for relish being here. I drove 70 miles to get here, and I've put a bit of effort getting here, so I'm going to spend a bit of time here and I'm going to enjoy it with my lunch. So I've obviously got all my gear with us, so it makes it a wee bit harder because I'm loaded up with my stuff, with my camera stuff and selfie sticks and pat lunch, waterproofs, flask of coffee, everything really. Got the kitchen sink, so that's all in my rucksack. Then I've got my other wee bag and the camera as well. Then I've got to get through all these obstacles with all that under. But I'm going to just find a spot somewhere anyway. We're going to get mucky anyways, it doesn't matter. I can enjoy my dinner. So, I've had my dinner. I see a lot of people are actually wading. A lot of people some people wade through the water. Now I could do that if I was appropriately dressed for it. I would need to have like shorts and welly boots. I wouldn't want to be walking barefoot in there. No way would I do that. I'd have some sort of wellies or something I could afford to get soaked and wet. That would be. I've seen some people that knee deep in there. Knee deep, so you need to be affording to be, getting wet. I mean, this is like May, so it's not too bad temperature wise. so you'll probably dry off fairly quickly. That water will be colder. I saw someone swimming in there earlier on as well. I don't know if it was what they realised just how cold it was. I think they were maybe surprised as to how cold it was. But anyway, it's certainly not for. It's not an easy. It's not really that easy to get to it. There is obstacles. There's sheer drops, slippery rocks. You're wading through water. It's. You can imagine how slippery, mossy, wet rocks are. So you got to be aware of that. But I came with my normal dress, jeans. There's only one thing that I got right is my hiking boots, and even at least that supports my ankle. So that's one thing I got right coming here. I didn't realise that it was going to be such a challenge. Now if I was like 10 or 20-year-old again back in the 80s and 90s, then I wouldn't have given it a second thought. But I sort of think a bit more now. If I slip and fall and do myself an injury, and off work for ages, I might not recover as quickly as I would have done if I was younger. So I tend to worry a bit more. I think, what will happen? That's me. But then I still haven't lost my sense of adventure. I would be doing that as well, and I could still do it if I wanted to, but I'm not doing it today. Certainly I'm not. I'm not dressed for it, for one. But it looks like good fun, but I will be cold. I mean, that would be what I would do, and I have done stuff like that before. Swimming in it and a bit of sort of mild rock climbing and that. Because I would just go out and get filthy anyway. That's what it was like back in the 80s and 90s. It wasn't I didn't have a video camcorder like this or anything. I was just out mucking about with my mates. Sometimes we'd go on adventures, we'd just done things, we'd come back filthy. But no, I still like to come here, but I was just a bit. You get mucky when you're. That's just. I get a bit more fussy when you get like that. Where I just clean this as a new top or some mucky. I wouldn't have thought like that years ago. But anyway, I've chilled out. I had my dinner. I'm going to just take some more photos, enjoy the atmosphere here. It's in the shade, so I certainly won't be needing these for a bit until I'm up there. The weather is really nice, so. And I can safely say that I'm at the Devil's Pulpit. Now, I was going to get myself up there, but I don't know if I could be bothered. It's getting busy again, like there's more people coming in. I suppose if I have a bag of the selfie stick and get it done that way. So I've got myself up here. Keep my balance. So I'm literally standing on the Devil's Pulpit, and then watching it I don't fall back because it's quite slippy and it's quite steep. I do not want to fall. But I'm up here anyway. So. Lovely waterfalls. Sitting waterfalls or something like that. I was on that Outlander TV series back in 2014. Made note of it, referenced it in my video article that will be on before this. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description. With widescreen, I think. That may be a better way. I'll show you the 360 with widescreen as I circle, just to show you just how narrow it is up here. It's uneven as well, so got to be careful you don't slip, because it's an uneven surface sitting on. So I'm back on terra firma, so to speak, with the waterfall at the background. Well, it is busier now, so I certainly I've enjoyed my lunch here and get a view of the pulpit from this angle. there's all these overgrowth and everything on the cliff sides, mosses and trees above us, which is kind of like hoping that they don't fall, because I've seen a lot of fallen trees lately, and it's evidently clear that it has happened, as you can see. So I don't want one of them falling on my head while in here. I would not really want that happening at all, but it certainly could happen by the looks of it. But apparently this is really colourful. The water could be different colours due to the light effects and that, and also the way I think the way it interacts with the moss or something, I'm not sure. But there's some kind of spectacular colours that this water will appear under certain conditions. So it is getting very busy now, so it's quite difficult. I'm kind of lucky I got some clear views, but it's getting very busy. It's a popular site, like, so I'm just going to chill out for a bit, and I might go over there for a bit. I'll see. I've spent a wee while here, had my dinner here, so I might even have a look at it. I'll just watch the waterfall for a bit as well. I'm going to show you what this moss feels like. You know, before I go, I'll just well grown anyway. It's just got an earthy kind of smell to it. I'm smelling my fingers after it. It's got just an earthy smell. So. So I've managed to get a clear break with the waterfall for now before it gets busy, because it is quite a popular place for people to go for a dip in the water, and at the moment I'm able to get this photo shot without anybody in it, which is a bonus at the moment. It is very busy here, so might even get myself a selfie before somebody goes into the view. So I've got the waterfall at the back there, nobody in it. Selfie with that. So the colours is actually changing as well with the light levels above it. It's got a kind of effect with the water and the mosses. It kind of has this greenish kind of different shades of green as well with dark brown water. So it's quite a colourful sight as well. So it'll probably change colour a lot due to the light levels, the weather and all the rest of it. But certainly today it's quite spectacular as far as I'm concerned. So at the moment there's nobody here, so I'm going to get a picture of both the Pulpit and the waterfalls, because I've got a wee window, a break in time, a wee window of opportunity here to get this. So I'm going to get these pictures and videos done right now. There's nobody there. There it goes. So I've got this opportunity to try and get both of them in the one image, so I can take photos and video at the same time. And I'll play around with the filters as well and see if we can enhance it. And I'll see if we can get a selfie as well at this moment. I've been lucky with a bonus. Well, it just shows you I stuck around, I had my dinner, I got a moment where there was nobody there in the pictures and videos, so I got both the Devil's Pulpit and the waterfalls with an uninterrupted view. So I was lucky, and this is like May and it's a bank holiday Monday, so I think, you know, I was lucky to get parked where I got parked, and I got here, it was worth the effort. So I'm not in a hurry to go away, like it's only, well, it's 5 o'clock, so maybe you want to start making my way back, like, yeah, but it's a 2-hour drive back, so, but I was, I'm glad. This was suggested to me to come here from a colleague of mine, so I researched into it and I was inspired to come here. I watched a video as well and done a brief research about it, and it inspired me to visit this place. Just moving back along towards where the staircase is. I managed to get myself back from there, and at this side again, this was the initial area that I came in. As you can see, the staircase is just up there. I was going to have I don't think I'll get much further along there where that tree is, but I'll get some footage anyway from the general area that in it. So, as I say, there's lots of ways down to it. There's infinite ways down to it. You could just fall right off the edge or just jump down there, but it might be a different story when you get to the bottom. You might not be able to say what you say what you experienced after it, but the way back up anyways, as you could tell, it's just like a bloody obstacle course, but it's got to be easier than the initial way I was going to go. I mean, if I was dressed properly, I could have just walked, you know, waded right through that without any difficulty. As long as I had boots or something on so my bare feet weren't in naked contact, because I couldn't walk on that barefoot. I could just wreck my feet and it'd be absolute agony. There's no way I would be doing that, so. Just looking along the valley, or the glen, whatever it's called, the gorge. Finnich Glen. So, don't know the direction I'm looking at, but it's the opposite side to the Devil's Pulpit at least. So Devil's Pulpit's over there. Now, as I say, I could have walked through there if I had proper footwear. It's not overly deep, but just some footage of it anyway, looking at it. And I've got that staircase to look forward to get back up to the top later on. So I'm having to take extra care I don't drop the blooming camera in this water, because I'm perched really in quite precarious positions all throughout this visit here. It's not the easiest place to visit, but it's worth it because it's spectacular. So I would have liked to have walked through that, but there's no danger I could do that today the way I'm dressed. I would need to have wellies and shorts in order to wade through that, because I ain't going to be getting the bottoms of my jeans soaked just to, you know, be up to my waist in certain areas, like, you know, knee deep in certain areas. I've seen people doing that earlier, you know, but they were in their shorts. But and even with a pair of shorts on, it's going to be freezing that water. I mean, I'd probably consider it then, but maybe in another video, another visit, but for now this is just going to have to do, I'm afraid. I'm quite happy with it, and I've enjoyed myself actually being here. I've actually managed to find the place, get here, visit it. So far so good. I had my lunch here as well, so certainly isn't any traffic whizzing past me like what I have to endure every single day when I'm working, when I'm driving the bus. This is about as far away as you can get from that environment. Just peaceful, listening to the water, bit of nature, a bit of moss, some scenic views, and the odd, well, I was going to say the odd challenge, but constant challenge, obstacle course as well, just to keep the exercise in there, make it worth the a small price to pay. Well, large price if you fall and hurt yourself, but let's hope not. Lovely here anyway, so just going to hang on for a bit and then I'm going to head back up there again shortly. So I'll do a wee 360 without any noise at all. I mean, I won't say anything. I have successfully completed the mission. I've got myself down there to the Devil's Pulpit and the waterfalls, and managed to get myself back up again in one piece. Just a little bit more dirtier than I was when I went down, because I had to grab onto the ground and the rocks, and of course with clothes and foot sharks scrape against it all and get covered in all the mud. Wee bits, it's not too bad, but anyway, it was worth it. So I'm now looking down at where I was earlier, and that is one sheer drop. And if this was wet, it would be quite risky to go near the edge, because it would be rather slippery, and it wouldn't be a ticket down if you did fall. Right, so that's me up, albeit a bit filthier than I was when I started off, but put it this way, you wouldn't want to be going for a job interview after visiting that. Let's put it like that. So, well, it doesn't matter, it was worth it. So I'm going to show you a view of the Devil's Pulpit and waterfalls from up here. So looking down at the pulpit, and we could pan the camera on and give you the waterfall as well. So as I say, just up here at the top. So at least I know next time about preparations and that. I thought it was just something you could just, walk to without any problem. Just park up, walk. Not any obstacle courses, but I've done minimum research, so I didn't really know much about it to begin with. So, and the article was only based on the brief research that I'd done, but it's still my article, short article about it, which I'll link on in the description of this video if you're wanting to see that. So that's the road where I was at earlier. I come down that way, and initially I came down, went on that bank, went along, crossed over, came along this bank, found the steps, went down, went and visited, went along, came back up the steps, and then continuing around in this kind of clockwise manner. So this path will go back to where I started off initially, when I was at the information board at the start, where the road junction was basically, which is up there. There's probably other trails and stuff along there that you can walk, which I might do actually. I might have a brief look, because I've got to bear in mind I've got a 2-hour drive back. But, it was definitely worth it. I'm glad I came. So yeah, definitely recommend it, but it's not easy to get to, so you need to be I'm used to doing hill walking and met with obstacle challenges and stuff. It's a pain in the neck when you've got to do these obstacles, but you just got to do it to get there, eh? So it's worth it. And what more could you ask for? Bank holiday Monday, brilliant weather. So we're off work today. Come here to this lovely place. I'll share this with you. Along a wee bit, I've come across this lovely view of it. The whole valley. Well, it's quite a spectacular, iconic view of it. So I'll be going up that path up there and heading out back in that direction, because you could hear the road just up there, and the crossroad junction where the sign was is up that way. So I was just letting a couple of tourists, fellow tourists, know about the staircase, and I just showed them the footage that I took, just to let them know the challenge that lies ahead should they wish to go down. But it is worth the effort. But if you're not dressed or confident about doing it, don't do it, because it could be really nasty. But in walking on this very narrow path with sheer drop at each side, just to get this lovely view of the waterfall from here. I'm looking at the waterfall, and this is where, well, you've got the Devil's Pulpit there, and the waterfall the water's flowing this way. This is looking upstream. Another one, so it's there's a froth, it's not so rock. Just puts you in the perspective as to where they're actually standing at. There isn't much, but there's a few trees to grab onto to keep your balance, but extreme caution. Now I'm going to sit here for a moment and take this view in. I'll have a swig of my juice, I might have a wee coffee, and just sit and look at this for a moment before I head back. And I've come prepared. I've brought my hiking folding sit mat as well with me, and my hiking boots on as well. So I've came partially prepared for this outdoor event. So I'm going to relish this moment. I'm just going to take this in for a bit and just sit and chill out, get the fresh air and the lovely sunny and the shade. Just got Devil's Pulpit on my right, a bird's eye view, and a wee waterfall on the left, and a fairly good sizable view of Finnich Glen, Finnich Glen, whatever they call it. It's usually, I would have thought Glen Finnich, but it's called Finnich Glen. Finnich Glen. Finnich comes before the Glen. And that used to sound like Glen, then the name, but it's, pardon me, it's Finnich Glen. So I've got a choice of refreshment drinks with me. We're at 4. I'll show you them. So, I've got a bottle of apple juice, not something else that might come to mind when you see the colour is, the colour of this liquid. It's apple juice, okay? Pepsi Max, mineral water. Whoa, jeezy peeps, nearly lost my mineral water. And nice hot coffee. Well, you probably guessed it's a foregone conclusion. I'm going to have a coffee instead. So we've got to be very careful nothing rolls off the edge of that, because if someone's down there and that falls from this height, it wouldn't do them any good whatsoever. So losing the bottle of water would be the least of my worries. There's a lot of people down there, so if you're on perched on the edge here, make sure you don't, nothing rolls off the edge. Like, I've got big feet, so I've got to be careful, don't accidentally kick any of these stones, you know, roll them, any little stones falling down there, if anybody's down below there, because a stone falling for that height will do some serious damage. So it's just something worth noting, because I wouldn't fancy the thought of having something far for this height and hit my head down there. wouldn't go down very well, would it? Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this coffee and relish this moment. And you don't want to be falling asleep here either, because then just sort of chilling out and then saying, I can just, you know, so relaxing, I don't want to nod off and then, you know, roll over. But it is relaxing here anyway. And I had my lunch earlier, so that was quite nice. Had that down there. So once I finish my coffee, I'm going to just head back to the car and that'll be it. I'll round the video off when I get back, and I'll just take random photos and pictures on route back. I've pretty much done everything I set out to do as far as this area, this visit's concerned. I've done it, and I could always come back here again, and I've got a fair idea of what to expect and how to get to it and where to park, etc., and how long it takes to get here from an area where I'm most likely to park again. So like I said earlier, prior to this, and prior to recently, I'd never even heard of the Devil's Pulpit before. I'd never even heard of it, And as I say, it was a colleague that suggested it to me to do a video of it. So it's certainly a new one on me. It's ironic really, because I've done an article, but it was just a brief video article about it, minimum research. So I'll put a link in the description for this video as well, if you want to see. I think it's time to get heading back to the car now. So I just spotted the two tourists that I spoke to earlier on, the young couple. I mentioned about the stairs. I think initially they were put off when they saw the pictures, but they're down there. I just spotted them. I'm not showing it on the video, but I think what happens is when you see the staircase initially along there, the first bit looks good, that allures you into it. And you go down so far, and then you say, well, it gets really difficult now. But because you've went so far, you might as well continue on the difficult bit, and then you'll eventually get to the bottom. So I think that's probably what the couple did there. They didn't look as though they were dressed for it, but I think the temptation was there because they're down there. I spotted them. But like I say, you'll see the staircase, and I'll say, oh good, nice staircase. You get halfway down, it's all broken and everything. So as I say, you're halfway there, so you may as well just do the rest and get down. It's worth it. And then getting back up, well, got to be extra careful, but you will. You just got to be careful, and you should get up okay. So I'm going to get heading back now. So en route back, just came off out of there and just looking over now to the surrounding countryside with the spectacular hills in the background. So this is the quite spectacular actually. I thought I'd get this in video. This is the bridge, the road bridge that goes over the Finnich Burn, which is just basically the water's going downstream, and if you go that way you'll come to the Devil's Pulpit waterfalls. So there's a wee viewing area. I'm going to get myself carefully positioned down there and have a closer look at this. So that's that A road, so I think it's A809 or something. Confirm that in a moment. But basically that's the road, it's going towards the junction where it started off earlier. So it's pretty precarious. I'm not going any further than this. That does look really alluringly interesting, but that's the camera arm that is stretching out, not me. So So this is another entrance to the Finnich Glen, in brackets, Devil's Pulpit. So there's lots of ways. There was a wee parking bay there, but no doubt that would have been busier earlier on. But so what I need to do now is just cross over that bridge that takes you back to that junction, and then when I get to the junction I just go down to the right and then park down there, 5 minutes walk. So this is just heading back. I'm going to cross over that bridge. I think it's A809 if I recall right. I'll confirm that again when I get to that junction, but I just only saw the sign once and I don't remember if that's what it was called, if I remember correctly. So this is the road that I'm on, and the bridge is basically forming part of this road, and this is going over the Finnich Glen. I was standing down there earlier. I'll have a look at the other side of this. So it's the other end of the bridge. Just looking upstream. Can't see a great deal. There will be a lot there, but I just can't see very much at this precise moment. So I'm just heading back up this way towards that junction again. So I think this will basically, I could go back that way if I wanted to, but it's not really much point because the junction is just up there. So there's obviously lots of ways to get to the Devil's Pulpit. There's different approaches to it. So that's the road in part on the B834, and there was a field I went down earlier. And just and this is where it started to make route to it. I walked down that way and I went round in a circle, came back up this way. So I was right earlier when I said that this bridge, that the bridge it was on was part of the A809. And I just go down that road there and park down there. 5-minute walk for here. So I'm just 5 minutes down there. But the scenery in the background here is spectacular. Right, so that's me back to the car now, and I'm going to round off the video. So I had a good day here, I thoroughly enjoyed myself, it was worth the effort and the journey here. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going if you've got the ability to handle all these little obstacles that could be put in your path to get to it, because it's not the easiest place to get to. But if you can, then it's worth going. Anyway, this video is put up for anybody that wants to see it on my channel anyway, so hope you enjoy it. Okay, right, see what else put on my channel, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye for now. Bye.